the water is moving. You're currently knee-deep in a murky tributary of the Amazon, wading through tea-colored water so thick with sediment you can't see your own feet. The air is suffocating, hot, and alive with the hum of insects and the distant screech of howler monkeys. Then you feel it. Something large brushes against your leg. It's not a fish. It's too heavy, too deliberate. The water swirls and a shadow glides beneath the surface, thick as a tree trunk, impossibly long. You freeze. Your guide is shouting something upstream, but the words don't register. All you can focus on is the shape circling you, tightening its loop with each pass. It's an anaconda, 9 meters long, weighing more than you do. It surfaces briefly to show its massive head and unblinking eyes, then it sinks again, vanishing into the murk. Welcome to the Amazon rainforest, a living labyrinth spanning 9 countries, covering 2.1 million square miles, home to 390 billion trees and millions of species, many still unknown to science. A place where the rules of survival are written in venom, teeth, electricity, and blood. This is a forest that has killed explorers, swallowed civilizations, and outlasted every human attempt to conquer it. And somewhere within this green hell lives the most dangerous animal on the planet. But it's not what you think. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a climate system. Approximately 6 to 9% of the world's oxygen is produced here, and what is further undeniable is the Amazon's role in absorbing massive amounts of carbon dioxide, functioning as one of Earth's largest carbon sinks. But the Amazon does something even more extraordinary. It creates its own weather through evapotranspiration, where trees release up to 20 billion tons of water vapor into the atmosphere daily. This moisture forms massive air currents known as flying rivers that carry rainfall across South America. Without this system, Brazil's agricultural heartland would become a desert. Argentina would face catastrophic droughts, and the water cycle of an entire continent would simply cease to exist. Then, beneath the surface lie more mysteries science is only beginning to understand. For example, in 2011, researchers discovered the Rio Hamza, an underground river flowing 4,000 meters beneath the Amazon, stretching over 6,000 kilometers and moving at glacial speed through porous rock. And in the Peruvian Amazon flows the Shanay Timpishka, the boiling river. Its waters reach 95 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to kill anything that falls in. However, there is no volcanic activity nearby, and the source of the heat remains unknown. Basically, the Amazon is a world built on mysteries we have not yet solved, but it is also a world filled with creatures designed to kill. The Amazon houses the green anaconda, Eunectes marinus, which is the largest snake by weight on Earth. Females can exceed 9 meters in length and weigh over 250 kilograms. In short form, they are ambush predators, always lying submerged in rivers and swamps, waiting for prey to approach, and when they strike, they use constriction. An anaconda usually wraps its muscular body around its victim and squeezes, not to crush bones, but to prevent breathing. Every time the prey exhales, the snake tightens, and within minutes, the victim suffocates. Then the anaconda will dislocate its jaw and begin to swallow, consuming animals far larger than its own head. Anacondas are rarely aggressive toward humans, but they are very opportunistic. And unfortunately, the anaconda is just one predator in a river system designed to kill. Piranhas have a reputation that exceeds their actual danger. Most of the 60 species are omnivorous scavengers eating fruit, seeds, and insects. Some are even vegetarian. But a few species, particularly the red-bellied piranha, are opportunistic carnivores that hunt in groups. A single piranha bite can remove a chunk of flesh the size of a grape. Their teeth are interlocking, triangular, and razor-sharp, capable of shearing through muscle and bone. But the real danger is not one piranha, it's dozens. During the dry season, when water levels drop and prey becomes scarce, piranhas become aggressive, and a feeding frenzy can strip a large animal to the bone in minutes. Attacks on humans have so far been rare but documented. In 2015, a 6-year-old girl named Adrila Muniz died in Brazil after being attacked by piranhas while swimming, and on Christmas Day in 2013, over 70 bathers were injured in a single incident in Argentina when a piranha school, stressed by heat and overcrowding, attacked en masse. Yet there is something in these waters even more dangerous. The electric eel, Electrophorus electricus, is not an eel. It is rather a type of knife fish capable of generating electrical discharges up to 860 volts. That is more than 7 times the voltage of a standard wall socket. Enough to stun a horse, enough to stop a human heart. Electric eels use electricity for navigation, communication, and hunting. They emit low-voltage pulses to map their surroundings in murky water. But when threatened or hunting, they unleash high-voltage shocks in rapid succession, up to 400 pulses in 1 second. The shock causes involuntary muscle contractions, including the diaphragm, leading to respiratory paralysis. Victims drown before they can swim to safety. In 2021, researchers documented electric eels hunting in coordinated groups, surrounding schools of fish and releasing synchronized shocks to incapacitate hundreds of prey at once. This was the first confirmed case of electric eels engaging in cooperative hunting. Attacks on humans are, however, uncommon but still dangerous. Fishermen wading in shallow water have, for example, been knocked unconscious and drowned. Others have suffered cardiac arrest from repeated shocks, but perhaps the most insidious danger in the Amazon does not live in the water. The common vampire bat, Desmodus rotundus, feeds exclusively on blood. It weighs roughly 40 grams with a wingspan of 35 centimeters. It hunts at night using heat sensors in its nose to detect warm-blooded prey, and when it finds a sleeping animal like cattle, horses, or occasionally humans, it lands silently and makes a small incision with razor-sharp teeth. The bite is nearly painless. The bat's saliva contains an anticoagulant called draculin, which prevents blood from clotting. The bat laps up the flowing blood for 20 to 30 minutes, consuming up to half its body weight. The blood loss is rarely fatal, but vampire bats are vectors for rabies, which is one of the deadliest viruses known to medicine. Once symptoms appear, the fatality rate is nearly 100%. In the Amazon, vampire bat-transmitted rabies kills dozens of people annually, particularly in remote villages without access to post-exposure vaccines. Ironically, draculin is currently being studied as a treatment for stroke and heart attack patients, where rapid clot dissolution can save lives. But even vampire bats, piranhas, anacondas, and electric eels are not the forest's greatest threat. The majority of Amazonian biodiversity is not easily seen. For instance, insects dominate. An estimated 2.5 million insect species live in the Amazon, many still unnamed. They pollinate plants, decompose organic matter, regulate populations, and drive the entire ecosystem. Bullet ants deliver stings described as the most painful in the insect world, ranked higher than any wasp or bee. The pain lasts for 24 hours and has been compared to being shot. Poison dart frogs secrete toxins so potent that indigenous tribes use them to coat blow dart tips. A single golden poison dart frog carries enough batrachotoxin to kill 10 adult humans. And then there are the plants. Only a small fraction of Amazonian plant species have been scientifically studied. Yet this forest has already given the world quinine, curare, and numerous compounds with anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and anti-cancer properties. The traditional knowledge of indigenous peoples, passed down through millennia, contains medical wisdom that modern science is only beginning to document. But this knowledge is disappearing because the people who hold it are vanishing. The Amazon is not an untouched wilderness, it is an ancient human landscape. More than 100 isolated indigenous tribes still live in the Amazon, voluntarily apart from the modern world. They are the inheritors of cultures that predate European contact by thousands of years. But recent discoveries suggest the Amazon once supported far larger civilizations. Using LiDAR technology, archaeologists have revealed the remains of ancient cities, roads, and hydraulic systems hidden beneath the trees. In Bolivia, for example, researchers found evidence of urban centers supporting populations in the tens of thousands. So the Amazon is not a virgin forest. It is rather a managed landscape, abandoned and overgrown, and beneath it all, the trees continue to communicate. But the most dangerous animal in the Amazon is not a predator, it is us. Deforestation in the Amazon has accelerated to catastrophic levels. An area the size of a football field is cleared every minute, and since 1970, nearly 20% of the Amazon has been destroyed, converted to cattle ranches, soy farms, illegal logging operations, and mining sites. In 2019, over 10,000 square kilometers of rainforest were burned in a single month. Satellite images showed smoke plumes visible from space. The fires were not natural. They were set deliberately to clear land. But what we fail to understand is that as the forest disappears, so does its ability to regulate climate. The flying rivers weaken, rainfall patterns shift, droughts intensify, and the Amazon, which once created its own weather, is now drying out. Scientists have warned that the Amazon is approaching a tipping point, a threshold beyond which it can no longer sustain itself. Meaning if deforestation continues at current rates, large portions of the Amazon will transform into savanna within decades. When that happens, the carbon stored in 390 billion trees will be released into the atmosphere. The oxygen production will cease, the water cycle will collapse, and the consequences will be global. The anaconda does not threaten the planet, deforestation does. The piranha does not destabilize the climate, industrial agriculture does. The electric eel does not cause mass extinction. We do. The most dangerous animal in the Amazon rainforest is not a serpent, a fish, or a bat. It is a species that cuts down forests faster than they can regrow, burns ecosystems for a short-term profit, and destroys in decades what took millions of years to build. The most dangerous animal in the Amazon is Homo sapiens, and if we do not change, the forest that breathes for the planet will stop breathing altogether. If you want to explore more about the ecosystems we are losing and the urgent fight to protect what remains, subscribe and join us as we further uncover the fragile balance between survival and extinction.